Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Kylie and today I'm having kimchi ramen with kimchi, and I've got California spicy rolls with ginger and soy sauce. So grab your spoons, grab your forks, or grab your chopsticks and let's eat together. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm trying a different setting, and let me know in the comments what you think, if this is a better setup, if you like this better than the other one, or if you prefer the other setup. But I'm just kind of experimenting and seeing which works better. So let me know. Okay, let's take the first bite. Uh-oh. Let me put a little bit of ginger on it. So today, I want to talk about how I met my ex-boyfriend in college, so my boyfriend in college. So I would say that I had a lot of fun in high school, but it got old, and I kind of felt like I was outgrowing the town that I grew up in, and I felt like a big fish in a small pond. So I was ready for college, super excited about it. Definitely wanted to be in a new environment and learn more about life. And when I got to college, that was the first time that I lived away from home. So when my friend Jessica, who I've known since I was like 5, she's like my lifelong friend. She came with my parents to drop me off at my dorm. And I was so sad when they were getting ready to leave me. I started crying. I'm such a baby. Started crying because that was like the first time I was going to be away from my family and my parents. Like, that was all I had ever known. So it was hard, but it was hard then. But now that I'm older, I look back. College was one of the best experiences of my life. And I'm grateful that my parents were able to help me financially to go to college. Well, one of the first few friends that I met at college, because I think only like 3 of us from my small town went to that college. So I literally went blind. I didn't know anyone. But that, in a way, was like really exciting for me. It was like a new adventure. It was like a fresh start. Like, I just was really into it. One of my first friends that I met there, she was really nice and sweet. She invited me to a party. And the party was at like one of the apartment complexes, so it was like upperclassmen, and as like a freshman you're like excited, right? So I go to this party with her, and everyone's really nice and we're having a lot of fun. And at this party, there's a lot of people there, so you kind of get lost in the mix when you're mingling. I'm not really sure where my friend was, but I think we were getting ready to leave, and I was looking for my jacket. It was on like the railing, and some guy was leaning up against it. So I went over to him and just said, "Excuse me, I think you're leaning on my jacket. Like, can I get it back? Because I think we're leaving." And he looked at me and was kind of surprised and said, "Hi, what's your name? I'm Alex." And of course I introduced myself, and he asked me for my number. And at that time I didn't know who he was, so I was just kind of weary about it. I was like, I don't know, maybe next time. So he was like, all right. I just kind of played it off because I didn't want to give some random guy my number that I didn't even know, and I was like getting ready to leave, so oh no. So come to find out, he was one of the roommates of my friend's friend that lived there. And one day she asked me a question about him, and she was like, "Did someone named Alex introduce himself to you at the party we went to the other day?" And I was like, "Yeah, he tried to get my number, but like I didn't give it to him because I didn't know him and I thought it was really awkward." She said, "Well, he's asking my friend who asked me to give them your number." And I was like, "No way. That's weird." So she was like, "Are you okay with it? Like, I just want to know if you're okay with it." And I was like, "No, I don't want him to have my number. Like, I don't even know him." And she was like, "Okay, well, I think he likes you, so do you want to go to another party at their place and get to know him, and then maybe you can see if you want to give him your number?" So I was like, okay, I guess that's fair. I had fun. Everybody was nice there, so I'll go to another party there and see. So the next party that I go to over there, he approaches me and asks me if I want something to drink. So we're just kind of talking, hanging out. He asks me for my number again. So finally, this time, he seems like a nice guy, so this time I give him my number, okay? So at this point, I think he's nice. I'm like, okay, and he's good looking, so I give him a chance, all right. So he calls me and wants to go on a date. So I say yes, and we go out on a date, and it's just to, like, I think it was like Jimmy John's or something, but we had a good time. I mean, it was nice. And I was actually like starting to like him. Well, I guess they like had another party, but I don't know if I went to like a different party with my other friends or my roommates, but I didn't go to this party. Well, my friend calls me the next day after they have another party, and she tells me that one of our other friends, was there, and she needed to talk to me. So we go to the cafeteria and eat, and she tells me a story that this mutual friend of ours, her roommates, had told my friend that so for the sake of non-confusion, I'm going to call my friend K and our mutual friend M. So M's roommates tell my friend K that the night before, M brought home some guy and they hooked up and they took a shower together, and they were so loud, and they woke up with him and her on the futon, like in the main room, and he like left really early, and they met him and they said his name was Alex. So my friend Kate tells me that, and she's like, I'm pretty sure that it's the Alex that you've been talking to, because she went to their party last night, and that's like the only Alex that we know that lives there and goes to the parties with that group of friends. So she's like, I just want to let you know before you get like your feelings involved and all that. Well, that was upsetting because I was like starting to like this guy and I didn't know what to do. So I kind of sat on the information for a couple hours, and then I decided to call him and I asked him. And I don't know what my tactic was going to be, but on the spot I called him and said, hey, you know, Em already told me, I already talked to her. I just want to hear it from you. Did you guys hook up last night? And it took him a while to answer. I mean, he took a pause. I mean, to the point where I was like, hello? And he decided to tell me the truth. So I was like, okay, well, I guess that's that, and just hung up on him. I mean, of course, he was like, you know, I want to explain, like, I want to see you. And I was like, no, I think we're done here. Because I don't like to mess with my friends' boyfriends or ex-boyfriends, and I expect the same from my friends. Loyalty is a strong thing for me, and I think it's a betrayal if somebody who I consider my friend dates my ex-boyfriend or like hooks up with somebody like that's just girl code. And I know they had been drinking and were drunk, but that's just no excuse, I think. So, and I get that we weren't like exclusive or anything, but it was like my friend that he had hooked up with, so I just wanted nothing to do with both of them. 'Cause she wasn't even like a great friend at the time, but like to have that as like a foundation to your friendship, like I just wanted nothing to do with her. I was like, I don't even want to be her friend anymore. And that may be harsh, but I don't know, I just felt like I didn't have time to have fake friends. I just wanted to have like a genuine connection with somebody I could trust. And at that point, I felt like I couldn't trust both of them, either of them. So I call her and I ask her about it. And tell her that who's already admitted it. So she tells me everything that happened. She said it was just purely a hookup. They don't really like each other. They had been drinking too much. So, and that she was sorry. Well, I didn't talk to her again after that. I mean, I didn't consider her my friend anymore. But I did appreciate that she fessed up to it. So that was just done. But then like maybe like a month later, I just had finished one of my classes and I was walking out of the classroom and it was late afternoon. So like all the other classes were mostly done in that building. And my dorm was like on the other end. Oh, I had to go to the other end of the building to leave to go walk back to my dorm. I mean, my dorm was closer to the back side of the building. And so I had to walk through the building and it was pretty much empty. So nobody was like in the halls. And the hallway was pretty big. Like if you were walking down it and somebody was coming in the doors to enter the building, you could see them. Like the hall was so big, like there was no way to avoid it. And the rest in between were classrooms. So it's not like there were other doors you could exit if you like saw somebody coming in the other end of the building. So everyone in my class must have went out the building the other way, and I was the only one who had to go through the building, the entire building, to get to my dorm. So I'm walking and it's so quiet, nobody's there. And while I'm in the middle of the building, I'm like almost to the exit. Guess who walks in the door? Alex walks in and we make eye contact, and it's so awkward because I definitely was dying. I just didn't want to see him. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't have anything to say to him. I just wanted to go to my dorm. Well, the second he sees me, he starts smiling. And of course, I'm a brat at that point because I don't like him. And I try not to make eye contact with him, but it's so awkward because we're the only two in the building. So I just realize before I get to him that I have to say hi, because I'm just, even if I don't like somebody, I'm not like outwardly rude. So I was just gonna say hi in passing and just be like, oh, I'm like late for something, so I have to go. And he pretty much stopped me and tried to make conversation. I was like, I gotta go, sorry, but hey, it was good to see you. And he was like, no, please, like, let me drive you to your dorm. And I was like, my dorm is like a block away. Like, no thanks. It's just going to take longer for us to walk to your car than for me to just walk to my dorm. But that was a nice try. I was just like, no thanks. Like, see you later. He was just trying so hard. And he was like, please, I want to see you. Like, why aren't you answering my phone calls? I want to talk and see where we can go from here. And I was just like, totally not feeling it. I was like, sorry, all right, well, good to see you, awkward, bye. And I just like left the building, and he was just like stunned and shocked that it had been a month later and I still wasn't letting it go. I was just like totally over it. And yeah, I'll have to make like another, on my next video, I'll continue like the progression of like our relationship and stuff. But at that point, I was done with him. I didn't talk to him anymore, and it took me a long time to forgive him. So this was like the beginning of my freshman year, and I didn't talk with him again until summer of my freshman year. So summer going into my sophomore year. But if you want to hear about that, you have to tune into the next video. So click that subscribe button. And if you liked my story, give this video a thumbs up. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. And until next time, see you later.